Alright, section 4.8 is the last section in this chapter that we're going to be tested on, and this is actually 4.9. This is pretty much just a big review of section 4.1 and 4.2, and then adding inequalities to it. So if you don't know how to graph from 4.1 to 4.2, you need to make sure you go ahead and review that. But we're going to look at 3 graphs, okay, at each form. So let's look at the first one here. Let's say we had y less than negative x squared minus 4x. Alright, and if you notice, this is in standard form. Okay, we have x squared, we have a term in x, and then we've got another term out here which is 0, which we don't see. So this is in standard form. So the standard form, we have to find the vertex, which is negative b over 2a. So my a is negative 1, my b is negative 4. So we should be able to figure what this vertex value is pretty quick. So opposite of b, so that 4 is going to turn positive, over 2 times negative 1, which is going to get me a negative 2. So I know that my axis of symmetry is at negative 2. So I'm going to go ahead and draw a dashed line at negative 2. Okay. Next thing, I know that my vertex is negative 2 something. Okay, I don't know what that something is, so I've got to plug it into the calculator. So it's going to be negative, and then negative 2 squared minus 4 times negative 2. And it's 4. Notice how I put the negative on the outside of parentheses, because that's what that negative is here. And then the x I'm plugging in is also negative. So that's why I had to include both the negatives here. Okay, so plot the point negative 2, 4, which is right here. And I pick 2 points to the right or to the left, it doesn't matter. So I'm at negative 2, so I'm going to pick negative 1 and 0. And I'm going to do the exact same thing. So I'm going to be looking for 2 points, negative 1 something and 0 something. So I'm just going to hit second and enter. I'm going to change all those 2's to 1's right there. And I get 3. So that's my second point, negative 1, 3. Hit second and enter. Delete the negative, change that 1 to a 0. Delete the negative, change that 1 to a 0, and you get 0. So I'm going to plot these 2 points, negative 1, 3, and 0, 0. On the axis of symmetry, 1 unit away, I'm plotting 1 at 3. 2 units away, I'm plotting 1 at 0. That's old material. There's nothing new there. Okay, the new part is the inequality. Since it's less than without an equal to, it's going to be a dashed line. Connecting the dots. Okay? The less than says it's less than the vertex. The vertex is here, so less than means it's everything inside this parabola. Okay? Second example, this is one that's in vertex form. Let me get a graph. Second example may look something like this. We may have, let's see if I can make one up here. So we have y greater than or equal to negative, and then x plus 4 squared minus 2. This is in vertex form, so the vertex is the opposite of the number inside, and then the number on the outside. So negative 4, 2 is my vertex, which means I'm going to have an axis of symmetry at negative 4. And I'll plot my point at negative 4, negative 2. And I do the same thing I did in the last problem. Pick 2 points. Okay, I'm going to pick negative 3 and negative 2. I'm going to plug it in. So negative, and negative 3 plus 4 squared minus 2. I get negative 3. So negative 3, which is right here. Do it to the other side as well. Then we'll plug in negative 2. So second enter, Change that 3 to a 2. And you get negative 6. Do the same thing over here. This time, since it's greater than and equal to, it's going to be a solid line just like in the past. And it's greater than this time, so it's above the vertex. So you're shading everything above. You don't have to shade in the whole thing, but everything above that graph. Okay, so you include all the stuff up here as well. Okay. All right, last problem, graphing in intercept form. So let's look at a problem like this. Let's say we had y equals x plus 2 and x minus 2. So this is an intercept form. Let's change this to less than or equal to. So intercepts are at negative 2 and positive 2. It's the opposite of inside. So at negative 2 and positive 2. I know that I have an axis of symmetry in between those two values. I can tell it's at 0, but if you didn't know that, you would take this value, add it to the second value, and divide by 2, and it gets you 0. So I know that my axis of symmetry is right down the y-axis. You probably can't see what I'm doing here, but it's right down that middle. So I know that my vertex is 0 something, so I plug it in. Well, 0 plus 2 is 2, 0 minus 2 is negative 2, 2 times negative 2 is negative 4. So my vertex is 0, negative 4. It's a solid line. It's less than, so it's everything below the vertex. So it's everything below the graph. That's all you gotta do.